Are you tired of feeling stuck with your English? Well, today we're giving you a complete system to learn from home. These are 10 simple, powerful tips that actually work. So let's get right into it. Seriously, if you've ever felt that frustration, that feeling that you're putting in all the work but just not seeing the results, then this is for you. We're going to fix that, starting right now. For way too long, learning English has meant sitting in rigid classrooms, staring at dense grammar books, and waiting until you're perfect to finally speak. We are throwing that old way out the window. The new way is a simple, effective system you can start using at home today. And that's really the key, isn't it? It's not about more effort, it's about a smarter system. And by the end of this, I promise you'll have a clear, actionable plan that's ready to go. Okay, so our system is built on 2 core pillars. The first one is all about active practice. I want you to think of this as the engine of your fluency. It's the part where you're consciously building the skill, putting in the reps, and making real, visible progress. So, inside this pillar, we're going to cover the first set of actions in our system: speaking every single day, shadowing native speakers, talking to AI, and learning phrases, not just words. Let's break them down. All right, our very first tip, and maybe the biggest psychological hurdle to get over, is to speak before you feel you're ready. Now, what's so powerful about this is that it completely flips what most of us believe. We think we have to wait to feel confident before we speak, but that's totally backward. The act of speaking itself, even with mistakes, is what builds the very confidence you're looking for. Action has to come first. Next up is this amazing technique called shadowing. It's so simple. You just find a native speaker you like, could be an actor or YouTuber or anyone. Listen to one single sentence and then immediately repeat it. You're not just copying the words, you're copying the music, the rhythm, the intonation. This literally trains the muscles in your mouth to make English sounds naturally. It's how you build a really natural sounding accent. And this just boils it down perfectly. You copy the sound, you repeat it until it feels right in your own mouth, and through that repetition, you start to master the real flow of the language. It's incredibly effective. Now for a modern tool that completely removes the fear of making mistakes: talking to AI. Seriously, just use an AI assistant on your phone. You can have a full conversation, ask any question, and get instant corrections without any of that pressure or judgment you might feel with a person. It's your own private 24/7 tutor. So this is a huge one. We need to stop learning isolated words. Memorizing the word make isn't very helpful on its own. But learning the phrase make a decision, now you have a chunk of language that's ready to use immediately. Native speakers think in phrases, and you should too. And to really solidify your active practice, try building 2 simple habits. First, keep a 5-minute English journal. Before bed, just write a few sentences about your day. This really builds your thinking in English muscle. Second, try the 1-word-a-day rule. Just pick one new word and find a way to use it in 5 different sentences throughout your day. Simple, right? Okay, on to our second pillar, passive learning. If active practice is the engine, think of this as the fuel you're absorbing all day long. This is all about surrounding yourself with English and just letting your brain soak it up naturally, without all the intense effort. First thing here, watch. Don't study. Put on an English movie or a show. If you're a beginner, go ahead and use English subtitles. A little more advanced, try turning them off completely. Don't stress about understanding every single word. Your brain is a pattern-finding machine. Just by listening, it'll start to pick up the rhythm and flow, just like you did as a kid. All right, our next tip is something you can literally do in the next 30 seconds to seriously boost your immersion. Look, it might feel a little weird for a day or two, but changing your phone's language to English turns every single notification, every app, every time you unlock it, into a tiny little English lesson. You're forcing immersion into your life in a super easy, seamless way. This next habit, it's all about rewiring your brain. You have to start thinking in English. When you're thinking about your day or what you need from the store, try to form those thoughts directly in English instead of translating from your native language first. It's a small switch, but it trains your brain to make English a default setting, and that's a huge step toward fluency. So we've covered active practice and passive learning, but honestly, none of it works without this final and I mean most important piece of the puzzle, your mindset. Our final tip, number 10, is the one that holds everything else together. You have to fall in love with the process. Not the result, but the day-to-day journey of just learning. And this is so crucial. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's. It doesn't matter. Your progress is your own. You have to celebrate the small wins, every new phrase you learn, every conversation you manage to get through. Be kind to yourself. You are doing so much better than you think you are. And please remember this, every single fluent person you admire started from zero. They all made mistakes, they all felt awkward, they all struggled. The only difference between them and someone who gives up is that they just kept going. So, the whole system is laid out for you. The only thing left is for you to take that first step. So look back at these tips and just decide, which single thing will you commit to starting today? Not tomorrow, today. Because that's what it all comes down to. The courage to start today is what creates the fluency you're dreaming of tomorrow. You have the system, now go make it happen.